It's thinking. Hi! Welcome back to Starfall. This is our Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition adventure featuring the Lasers and Liches 2.5 supplement. My name is Diamond and I'm your storyteller, and I am here with David, Jocelyn, Allison, and Thomas, and we had last left our lovely players and their characters uh, in, uh, well, kind of just dropped a baited hook in front of them and they took it, and it works for me. So, if you watched the last episode, we had a Sarah nanny running through the town square of Roytford, clearly panicked, and Tuesday ran up alongside her and discovered that the mayor's children were missing, and everyone else joined except for Friendly, who is engaged in observing many other behaviors, and he sent Rook along. So most of our players and one player set of eyeballs are running up the hill towards a fancy house. And let's just have that happen a second. And Friendly, so what are you doing?
Friendly is headed that direction, but at not at the breakneck pace of the group. He's staying behind to watch the reactions and hear the sort of chatter that goes on inevitably in the wake of such an event on a public street.
You're actively listening for what people are saying and getting more
Yes.
information. So,
Yes.
what you hear is that the house took them, it must have. And it's the curse.
Oh, which curse is that? I'm new.
Clearly. You are asking a granny halfling
Mhm.
who's
Oh, I
selling
get down on
fish.
one knee. Eye to eye.
Yeah, who's selling fish.
I buy a
Um,
fish.
you are clearly new here. It's not polite to talk about town business with outsiders, but I'm happy to sell you some fish. We have. She lists fish. I'm not listing fish.
Perhaps, little grandmother, you could consider it an offering to the code,
Oh,
a
I never
piece
had
of knowledge.
children.
Oh, simply a title of respect.
I don't. Oh, the code. Oh,
I'll
that's
hold
one
up
of
the holy
the.
symbol.
Oh, one of your fancy gods. Oh,
Oh,
we're
the
good here.
simplest of such, I assure you.
You're. I gotta say, I follow the prophet, Brittany.
Tell me of her.
You haven't heard of her? So she tells you about the prophet Brittany from Lake Miramara, who tells truth in rhymes, and whose most recent prophecies are about the world becoming toxic. That is every reference you think it is. Yes.
Fascinating, and I will trade her my bit of gossip from Lake Miramara about the fall of the Salvation and to a mob of performance artists.
She, you know the meme with the guy on the wall with all the string? I don't actually know what it's from.
Yeah.
With all, yeah. So she starts becoming that guy and is putting it together with three other things. Can you make a persuasion check, please?
Mhm. How'd that go? 11. Am I persuasive? 12.
So, if you're trying to get more information about the curse, which is what I had you roll for,
Yes.
you get. She drops a couple of pieces of information in her rattling
Mhm.
that include that the Dropworts should have known better, and that they that Tenders tried so hard to keep those kids safe. And they're just like asides to other things and aren't the main topic, but they give you some more information. And but if you ask her directly, she's not interested in conversing about it.
Well,
She's also getting strange looks from her stall neighbors who have heard this before and are doing a little bit like,
um,
lemongrass goes lovely with those fish.
I will pass another coin to her. One more fish for the next person who needs it.
Oh, that's so good of you.
Mhm,
Very, very good of you.
isn't it? Thank you. Have an excellent day.
All right. So while that exciting stuff is happening,
And then continue.
yeah, the three of you and Rook are continuing to follow Tender up the hill, but I think that Tuesday is the fastest. Yes?
I also started running this first.
Yeah. You're pacing Nanny Tender,
Mm-hmm.
which I have to say I'm so proud of as a name. That's the best name. So happy. Anyway, um, so it's a little bit of a run. Do you ask her anything more during the run, or are you just keeping pace with her?
If I recall our last conversation, I got the impression it was all the information I was going to get out of her at the moment, so I'm just keeping up with her.
Okay.
I politely drilled her as much as I could, but she clearly stopped talking.
Okay. Well, and you all run up to one of the very nice houses that you saw when entering town on that hill. It's oh, what is the Midwestern colonial, right? That's the style with the big wraparound porches and the two. Yeah. So kind of colonial style-ish. Colonial style-ish if you saw colonial as inspired by pirates. I don't know enough
Okay.
words about architecture to describe the thing in my head. I'm sorry.
I have a picture.
Yeah, okay. So colonial is inspired by pirates. And without breaking stride, she runs directly through the front doors into a main like entryway area that clearly branches off to other areas of the house. And it's just like a slide like the doors are on spring swings, so she just slams right through it and right into the house and top of her voice. And you those of you that are a little further away can actually still hear her yell the name of the character that's on this piece of paper because I totally remember
Steve!
Selden and Leah. And I'm not going to yell because there are other people that live here.
And also headphones.
Oh yeah, that's nice too. Diamond can she yells like Diamond does. So she yells. Let's see. I remember that Jocelyn was a little bit behind, or Empress was a little bit behind, and then Sumosaur was a little bit behind, and Rook was probably in between those. So you all arrive moments into this happening, and so you hear like increasingly slightly different versions of this, but here's the scene that unfolds. Is that from if you're facing north, then it would be northeast. From the like left side of the house, there's the sound of a like door slamming and quick footsteps running and a lovely, oh my god.
Person.
Why? No, I wrote it down and I just totally forgot. It's cool. And a really lovely half-elf lady. Like it's immediately clear that she's too tall to be an elf, but too lithe to be anything else. Rushes out, heavier footsteps than you would expect from an elf, and like like with that shocked at this behavior, like, Tender, what is it? What's wrong? And Tender, in a um, loud, significantly loud voice, explains to her that Etienne and Marissa have both gone missing. They've both gone missing just like we said they would. They've both gone missing, and it's not a trick. And I think that it got Marissa, and Etienne's after her. And Leah, as she's hearing this, like, is aware that all of you have followed Tender into the house and says, "Why are you saying this in front of strangers?"
I'm probably like 1/2 footstep staggered behind Tender, but I am right there with her in like polite cop pose, like when cops are in your house, you know, that demeanor. That.
Yep. Sorry, I've seen asshole cop pose so many times. My brain is trying to actively see polite cop pose.
This is,
and it just took me a minute.
This is no, I understand. I've experienced both, but you know what I mean.
And at this point, all of you are within hearing range, and some of you can choose to have come in or not. But since Tuesday has, like, who is this? What do you mean the house? I don't understand. And a Tender yells again and says, "They're gone," and like slams her fists into her thighs. And at that second yelling, you hear a door slam from further in the house and heavier footsteps coming out. While these two are debating, interrupt me at any point if you want to do something with your characters.
Yes, I am doing.
I-
doing something.
I'm giving
Tuesday
I'm giving
and then
Tender
Joss. Tuesday and then Empress.
I'm giving Tender a chance to a natural chance to catch her breath, and I tell the half elf, I'm a visitor in town. I was outside and I saw her run by panicked, and it seemed like someone in distress, and I wanted to help. Apparently children are missing. I definitely want to help you get them back. I've done it before. I'm a bit of a professional at that. I don't know the situation beyond that, but we're here to help. Hi. Call me Tuesday.
Empress?
Empress, the small snake she is, has the doors slam on her.
Well, except that Sumosaur was behind you. Don't make me roll door damage on you. Come on.
No, there's no damage done because she's wearing the ring.
What?
She just didn't she have a ring of protection?
I don't remember what you have. That's your job.
True.
Protection just increases your AC.
The doors slammed on them?
I'm not letting the door slam on you. We're not doing this.
Fine.
But it can slam in your face if you would like.
Yes, it slams in her face and she bumps her nose.
Okay.
Essentially.
Oh, because they're spring loaded.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
But Sumosaur is behind you. Sumosaur, what do you do?
I'll follow and not hit my head on a door.
Show off.
Open the
Are
door for Empress.
Are you gonna open the door and go in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Empress follows.
So as the massive form of Sumosaur shades the door, from inside the house comes a clipped heavy steps, and from another door enters a short, roundish man wearing something that looks a lot like a tuxedo, and a pirate had a baby.
A human?
A human.
A tuxedo and a pirate?
If a tuxedo and a pirate had a baby.
Okay. A formal pirate.
Yeah, sure. I do know enough words. It's got the neck ruff thing going on,
Mm-hmm.
and the long tails, but like harem pants,
Like tuxedo mask as a pirate.
or like a formal Johnny Depp's character.
Jack Sparrow.
Thank you. Or like a formal Jack Sparrow. Only short and rotund. Rotund is the right word for this person. And he immediately rushes to Leah's side and holds her hand in his hand, and in a firm and calming voice says, "Everybody quiet." And you all feel that this is definitely the person who is in charge here.
Mm-hmm.
Empress, who wasn't making any sound, just like freezes her wing beats.
Now,
Like,
Nanny, whatever's happened, we can deal with it and we can figure it out, but you've brought outsiders into our problems, and we have to deal with that first. And you have known Tender for all of 3 seconds, but she responds to that appropriately, and her whole demeanor becomes somewhat calmer. And he says, "Now, who are you, and why are you in my house, and what do you have to do with my children missing?"
As I was telling the lady, my name is Tuesday. I'm new in town. I saw a very distressed person running for help, and I went to help. And along the way, she gave me the barest bit of information. I heard something about children missing. I would like to help return them if you're willing to accept help. If you pardon my saying so, I don't give a flying crap about your personal business. I just heard children are missing.
And he takes all this, and you don't see any like makes no gestures with his face or shock or anything, and then turns to Sumo Sor and says, "And you?"
I'm with him.
Her.
Her, sorry. I'm with her.
Each of you just refer to your own gender, and it'll be appropriate for this game. It'll be great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he nods and says, "We may yet need help."
does he not see the small flying colorful snake?
He does see the small flying colorful snake. He doesn't know that the small flying colorful snake is awakened.
Yeah, for
You
all he
look
knows,
like-
you're a familiar.
You look like a familiar or a pet to most people, so
Empress is very clearly to the people who know her, mainly Tuesday, Sumosaurus, and
Rook.
Brooke, that she's not very happy at all. And she pipes up, well, excuse me, you could have
Oh.
at least tried to address me.
You have this is the first time you've
That-
seen a little bit of surprise, like, a talking familiar?
She yells, and I'm not going to yell, but essentially Snake yells, I'm out of awaken him, animal, I'm not a fucking familiar.
You'll have to forgive her. She's very prideful. We're here to help.
My apologies, ma'am. Why are you here?
She's like, I'm with Tuesday and Sumasaur.
We're a traveling party together. I'm sorry. I should have mentioned that. They saw me run off and they followed to help.
Yes.
Well,
But if Tuesday runs with a person, then it usually means something's wrong.
All right. Well, 3 of you, and then pointing at Rook, like, are you an awakened animal also?
Oh no, I'm a familiar.
Oh, whose familiar are you?
My master is friendly.
None of you are
That's
named
his
Friendly.
name. That's his name. He's back in town. He didn't feel like running.
He approaches.
Well, thank you all for coming to assist. I am not one to turn down Providence. We may yet need your assistance, but for the moment, I'm going to ask you to wait in our sitting room. I will have a butler isn't the right word, Diamond.
Servant.
Servant wasn't the right word either.
Maid.
Concierge.
I will have a person who brings you food, bring you some tea and cookies. And
Housemaid.
Do either of them have a visible data pad type of device of any kind? A watch, glasses, and a monocle, anything I can send data to?
make an insight check. Or not insight. Insight
Perception?
isn't the word. Yes.
That's a 20 plus whatever my perception is.
You haven't seen these before, but each of them have he has a watch and she has a pendant, and they're both like, you have the trained eye to see that these are in fact we'll call them data things, sure. That are hooked up into data space, but they are, you know how
protected.
really wealthy stuff is like one part minimalist and one part classy? They're that. This is real money, not
Right.
yeah.
It's a Rolex iWatch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to point out I got a 28 on my perception. I just want to enjoy that for a second. I see through them. I have X-ray vision for 5 seconds.
Hers is much harder to detect. It just looks like a Nautilus shell.
Are these things something I can send basically my business card to?
If you attempt to, it'll do a knock ask, and they will accept.
Okay, I send them it's a small data file that is cover sheet business card, and second sheet is my credentials of saved this person, found this person, reunited this family, my resume.
He glances at it briefly and says, "Thank you very much." That is both a accepted and dismissing at the same time, like smooth. Leia, on the other hand, who hasn't said much this whole time, is shaking. Like she looks like she's about to break down crying. And not because of him, because of the situation. That's not no insight check needed. And he ushers you all into a side sitting room that's like classic Victorian green upholstery and walnut wood, and closes the door.
Okay.
What do you do?
I didn't want to mess up the.
Sorry, Empress, are you doing anything before you go in the room?
Yes, she goes.
Okay, her first.
Layla, and sort of lands on her shoulder, just very gently, non-invasively, and strokes her cheek with her wing, trying to be comforting.
Would you make an insight check?
Yeah. What's the modifier for?
Insight is an ability.
Okay. I was just making sure.
Skill.
Yeah, it should be the number on
Insight is
skill
a
list.
skill. I knew what I meant. Dang it.
13 plus 5.
17.
17. Yeah, I got 17.
18.
18.
18.
Don't believe Diamond.
You,
Diamond doesn't
you are
math
so
well.
helpful.
I also count on my fingers. Anyway, you, as you are going to do this, you, watching her face react to you, you understand that she wouldn't see that as comforting, and you can choose a different behavior that she may seem as comforting.
Don't touch the rich lady. They don't like it.
Maybe words would be better here.
She stops and making sure her voice is calm and hopefully soothing. She speaks. I am here to listen if you want to say anything. I know I am small and seem as if I can't do anything, but if you need something, please, and need to talk, please, I will listen.
With a trembling lip, she meets your eyes and nods, and you get the sense that she really hurt you. Tuesday, your turn.
I didn't want to break the flow of the scene, but I would like to make an insight check on these three people.
Yeah, do it. What do you look? Tell me what you're looking for.
My professional detective bounty hunter senses are looking for anything that smells guilty.
Okay.
Or just sketchy or, oh no, the children are missing. I am shocked by this news kind of shit.
I'm not the.
Yeah.
Wait.
That's a 16. Not a great roll.
Your sense of people's emotional, I guess, states are Tender is upset, but holding it in. Like, and definitely there's an angry upset. Selden is crisis reacting. Just the like, this is a smooth and practiced, and I know how to manage a situation, and I am doing that.
He's a successful businessman, and he's dealing with this like it's a business issue.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Leah is terrified. Like, clearly, from what you've seen in this, is just like afraid of what's happened to her children.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Sumasaur, anything from you? And your yellow blade, you look so comfy.
I want.
The banana ice cream, Allison. And
I want.
is Rook doing anything?
He kills them all.
Listening.
Okay.
Right. Keeping eyes out.
So he, so you all go into the room unless you tell me you're resisting. He shoos you all into the room and closes the door. And you have a moment. What are you all doing in this room?
Empress settles down on the couch, on the couch arm, and gives sort of a snaky sigh, like that. And it's just like, I wish I could do more to comfort the mother. Because I know the feeling of losing family. She looks away and doesn't say any more after that, but she's clearly thinking back on memories.
We can comfort her by getting her children back.
She looks at Tuesday and nods. Yeah, that is the best solution to this, is getting the children back.
Is anyone doing anything in the room that they may need to make dice rolls for?
Do my fancy shades get a signal out here? Like an access to the interwebs?
Did I answer that question already?
I don't remember.
I know that we
didn't.
Okay, then yeah, they do.
Can I do a quick background check on this family?
Yeah, I guess that would be a tool check.
Terrific.
I figure if you have the data pads, you must have signal here.
Okay, I know I've asked this before, but what's a tool check consist of?
Dang it, I was just hoping you'd remember because I don't. Thomas, what's a tool check?
It's just proficiency plus usually intelligence.
Okay, yeah, and intelligence it would be for this. Thanks, Thomas.
Thank
Quest-
you, Thomas.
Questions I can ask that don't give away the story.
17. No, wait. Sorry. I lied to you. 14.
And you're researching this family, you said?
I'm doing a Google search for, Mr. and Mrs. whatever.
Selden and Leah Van Shire are referred to as the mayor and mayoress of Roytford. It's a title of honor. They are, if they were bad guys, you'd probably call them merchant kings. They are business people. They came to Roytford about 8 years ago, and wait, no longer than that. Sorry. When was that? You know what? It's longer than 8 years, and I just don't remember how many years it was. And they worked very hard to help make the region prosperous with fantastic business acumen. They were overall viewed very positively. David, did you freeze?
I think you did.
Headline.
Oh,
But you're
there
not.
we go. Oh, there. David
Hello?
unfroze. Hi,
Hello?
hi.
I'm searching like newspaper headlines and police reports for any illegal activity, even if it's directed at them.
There is a story referenced that you can't you find a like semi-biographical piece of the or not semi-biographical, oh my goodness. You find a piece about the region that includes talking about the Van Shires wresting control of the city, or not control of the city, but like control of the shipping stuff movement and trade of the city.
Import export.
Away from a cult-like gang who wear red, but you can't find any like actual news stories about it.
Okay. Yeah, see, so the rest of you just see Tuesday like sitting in a chair and just like, because it doesn't show from the outside of the glasses, but I'm reading headlines in my spectacles and doing web searches.
Anyone else doing anything in here that's going to require some rolls?
Nope.
All right. So this is a great time then for a let's say maid, I guess that might be the right word, to walk in with a lovely tray that has like tea and cups and cookies on it. She also looks obviously distressed and a little bit distracted, and like very, politely, quietly sets it down and leaves. And who has a base perception over 15?
Yes.
If you have a base perception over 15, then as the door opens when she comes in and opens again when she goes out, you hear some of the conversation that's clearly happening at another point area in the house, but echoes a bit, that I don't know how you know this is what's happening. And Tender yelling, or Tender saying, "I told you so." There we go. Sorry. I had to have it's like listening to a song and you have to wait till you get to the right lyric to remember the lyric. That's what's
Right.
happening in my head. Okay.
So someone else said, "I don't know how you know this is happening," and then
Leah. Sorry, Leah.
said,
Leia.
"Leah said, I don't know how you know this is happening," and then
And
Tinder said, "I told you so."
no, on the way in, you hear Leia saying, "I don't know how you know this is happening." When the maid left, you hear Tender saying, "I told you so." And that is
Gotcha.
about the time for Friendly to arrive up at the house, I think. At least with your story speed, I guess.
Indeed, he also it may become relevant as a reformed cultist. He is also able to spot uh, things in public, secret handshakes, messages, meaningful eye contact between two people with the same tattoo.
Indeed.
So in the wake of such things, I mean that sense is always sharp
I
for
absolutely have
him.
not forgotten that part of your background. Nothing
Excellent.
tingles it.
So yeah, other than that, it's just like continuing to listen for like dropped names, rumors in the wake of this, and
I
then
do gotta go soon, by the way.
No problem.
all right.
You do
Uh,
hear
is
one name. You hear the name Satine.
Satine, and the one the old lady told me was drop. What was it?
Dropwort.
Dropwort. Okay. Dropwort and Satine. Let's go in the notes. Is the door more than 100 feet away from where they are now?
Who? Friendly?
Yes.
This is
Specifically, the distance between Friendly and Rook.
we moved to the point where you're coming up. You can be as close as you want to the house.
Okay.
We're on you now.
I just mean like at the doorway. Am I close enough to get a data dump from Rook?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm fully informed on the way. And, I will knock with the secret salvation knock. The I am here, brother, sort of knock, and I'll see if I get the response.
A maid comes and opens the door and says, "Can I help you?"
I'm with the adventuring party you just served. I'm friendly.
Oh, that's your name. I, one moment, and she closes the door. And the door opens for you all, and she says, "Do you have a Friendly?"
Yes.
"Oh, okay." And she goes back to the front door and says, "Right this way," and totters you to that door and says, "There's I'll get you another cup. I'll be right back."
Thank you very
None
much.
for me, thank you.
All right. And with that very distracted, like, "Oh, okay," and walks off.
I do make a point to thank the maid anytime she does anything with us.
Okay. You get a non-committal. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything you all are doing before I just move to the next part of the story rather than have you sit here and waiting for however long it takes? Cool. All right.
Thomas, do I know that you are a former cult member, that you know cults?
I mean, he has a hatred for one specifically, but no, Friendly doesn't talk about himself. He listens to other people.
Yeah, no. I
So-
wouldn't know to ask you then. Okay.
Okay.
Well, you might know to ask him because the fact that these make a just a base. Give me a basic knowledge history check, I guess.
Right. I mean, given that I'm a knowledge cleric, there's an outside chance I
Yeah.
can answer any question.
12.
That's enough to understand that to know that the Wanari and the Salvation have a thing, and that the Salvation wear red. You may not know a lot of details.
Oh, what I mean, if the Salvation is the red robed cult, I might just know that already because the Salvation are prolific.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, we can move on.
Okay.
Because it would have been like, who are the red robe people? But apparently, I think I would know that.
All right. So we're then moving forward to the door opening, and a much calmer Leah is standing there and says, perfect hostess voice, even though it's a little cracked and clearly there's like evidence of her having been crying, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But this is a role that she does well.
Must keep up appearances.
And she says, thank you so much for waiting. We'd love to have you in the parlor. I'm just coming up with words for rooms, I guess.
There's
We'd
a
love
parlor.
we'd love to see you in the parlor and discuss how you might be able to help us. And like turns and leaves with the like unconscious expectation that you will follow her.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Empress also follows her very closely.
Most of this I'm going to assume this is what you're doing unless you interrupt me and tell me you're doing something else because yeah, because social contracts and that's how they work. So leads you into a sitting room that's parlor that's mostly like peach and gray and like walnut, or not walnut, but like soft light color woods. What are light color woods? Anyway, not mahogany this time. It's a nice place, but not McMansion nice. It's like actually lovely. And there's plenty of seating for all of you. It's a large enough parlor. There's a variety of seats, and Tender is pacing aware in the carpet, and Selden is standing with hands clasped, being perfect host. Unless anyone does something, then once you are all seated, he is going to say, I see that someone has that you've gained the other person in your party. You're the one who has the bird, right? You friendly.
I
Excellent. So you all had offered to help us, and I think that it is by the good graces of, names a lawful deity, and I'm just bad with deities, but, name some lawful good deity.
the
By
code
the good,
provides.
Mm-hmm.
they all get along, I hear. By the good graces of, yeah, you get the sense that that's like a board meeting kind of joke.
Mm-hmm.
That you have arrived exactly at the time that we hear of our children missing. So here is the situation as it stands. My and again grasping Leah's hand. We have two children, our oldest son Etienne and our youngest daughter Marissa. And Marissa has become enamored of the broken down, horrible old house up on the hill and has been attempting to explore it and becoming um and he's sort of pausing for words. Tender interrupts him and said, she's become obsessed, she's become possessed, she is not who she was. And Leah immediately rushes to Nanny and like sort of shushes her, and they have a brief little aside that is just like, no, we don't. Why don't we go have some warm milk or whatever it is that Sarens drink? And the two of them leave. And as they're and once the doors closed, as I was saying, our youngest Marissa had become rather strange, and Etane was acting out due to his concern over his beloved sister. And what we understand from Nanny Tender is that they have both gone into the house and it has some unspeakable things in it. and they may be in significant danger. There are certainly those in the town we could assist for help, but to a degree, I think he like checks that his wife isn't walking back in. To a degree, I think that there is worry and claim that this house is malicious in some way that would keep those who have grown up here and those who've lived here for a long time from doing an effective job of saving our children. Also, I reviewed Tuesday your a very excellent resume, and I see that you have had more than a little experience rescuing children from unusual situations.
It is literally my specialty.
Oh, that explains so much.
What was that?
That was a muttered aside.
But what? Tell the
Also
GM.
spoken in character.
Yeah,
Tell the GM what the muttered aside was.
Oh
I couldn't
no,
Tell the
that
players what you
the
said.
muttered aside that was also in character. Like that was a muttered aside. What I said
Alright.
was, oh, that explains so much.
Ah, okay.
Oh, Tuesday didn't ask you what you said. David did. Sorry about
Oh, got it.
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's the
I didn't
glasses.
hear it on the audio. Didn't pick it up.
Got it.
Ditto for Diamond, who also wanted to hear, because I'm supposed to be God here.
Got it. I looked away from the microphone. More the fool me.
So he looks. So he. It's now your all's turn to talk. He's done the pause in the conversation.
I do a quick check with my party members before I volunteer their time. Just a glance of, is anyone not down to help with this?
Empress softly hisses a very passionate reply, but again in a soft voice. I will most definitely help these people, as I too know what it feels like to lose. Then she shuts herself. She shuts her mouth and is like, oh my, I almost revealed something. Must not do that again. Like a secret she's very uncomfortable sharing. Because she's still new to the group. They haven't earned enough trust yet.
Yeah.
For her
Yeah.
to share that.
Thank you
We
for
get it.
giving me your internal, but yeah, we understand.
I'm looking at the other two, like, you guys know what I'm about to say, but I'm checking with my party members before I speak for them.
Obviously, get a good deal. I'll have to cancel my lunch plans.
I turn to him and say, as I said before, we are here to help.
Very good. I believe it would come as no surprise to you that we can reward you handsomely for this. But as you may understand, time is of the essence. What can I offer you now that to make it understood that you will be rewarded handsome? That's not how he says it. He much better than Diamond.
Your word will
Mhm.
do.
He much
Your-
better than
your-
Diamond says,
your-
"Can you go now and I pay you later? I'm good for it."
Your word is fine. We know where you live.
Just look around the house filled with stuff, and I'm like, hey, your word will do. It's fine.
I doubt you're going to skip town. I'm not worried about it.
Is there anything you need before beginning?
Anything you think we need to know that we don't because we're outsiders?
How old are the children?
Diamond does have the answer to this. She
Right.
totally does.
There's a broad range of child.
Yeah.
Roll 2d10s.
If and I'm just going to give you the human years equivalent because with half elf and human, like, years get all screwy and I'm not doing that math right now.
Mhm.
Marissa is about 7 and Etain, the oldest, is about 10.
Great.
Kids.
I prefer that, honestly. Teenagers can be a complication.
Be difficult.
What other questions do any of you have?
Again, we're from out of town, so anything that is just general knowledge here that might help that we wouldn't know about. We just got here, so anything that feels obvious to you is dawning information to us.
He what's your passive insight? Pardon me.
Passive insight, pretty good. 18.
Oh really? Wow.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. He looks
It's what I do.
as you say this, he looks very uncomfortable. Like
My
has
my own. I see this, and before he
I
can say
have
anything,
to go in about 10 minutes.
that's about when we'll be done, so that's perfect.
Okay, just informing everybody.
I see this hesitation wash over him, and I say, I have no concern with local politics beyond getting your children back.
He harumphs and says this has nothing to do with politics.
Again, I know nothing.
You get the idea that politics is like a curse word.
You say there's something unspeakable in the house. I'd like you to speak of it.
And it should be like he begins doing this like rubbing his hands nervous and like
Can you describe its origin? Demonic, ghostly, fey?
he imagine the character who steps away from the group with a whiskey in front of the fireplace and like looks off. He's having that moment, only it's him just rubbing his hands in front of you.
Oh,
and he
an
more
apparition.
and more looks like he's about to cry. And he pulls a rag out, not a rag, a nice, lovely handkerchief out and like pats his forehead and says, it is the family that owned that house. 3-5. He would say the actual number, Diamond. Hold on. 5 generations ago. The way that they ended, well, many people refer to the house as a curse, and people who have gone into it have not all come out, and not all have come out with all of them intact. And like he's sweating. The the way in the town it is a sort of taboo to speak of it for fear that it might think of you or attach itself to you in some way.
Of course. This family was the drop lords.
He is shocked. Like, you have not seen him knocked off his rocker yet, and this is the first time he is stunned, and harsh whispers, how do you know that name?
I am a cleric of the code. Knowledge is divine manna to me.
That name is not to be spoken in this house.
Another piece of knowledge gained. All glory to the code.
We don't need to say it again. We all know what we're talking about.
And you watch him like doing like basically breathing exercises to calm himself down, but like full on red in the face, just like
Yeah.
if he wasn't, you get the sense that if he wasn't asking for your help, that if he wasn't going to pay you for his help, he would have immediately like kicked you out and had you try to ban you from the city or something.
But as it is, he can't. And
he's still, and you can see he's still considering it.
yeah. Friendly really relishes this moment.
It needed to be said once so we knew what we were talking about. I apologize. I understand the weight that names can carry, but now we all understand and we need not say it again. Anything else?
I-
You were about to say something before Friendly asked his question. What were you going to say?
I don't remember what he was about to say. Sorry.
I asked what is something that is common knowledge to townspeople that we don't know, and then I said the thing about politics, and he got upset. He was about to say something, and then Friendly asked how old the kids
Oh.
are.
He was going to say, and we can just say that he said it, and then friendly conversation had, that this has nothing to do with politics. Politics isn't what we do. It's we take care of each other or something like that. Dang it. He's offended by the idea that you might see him as a political figure. He's clearly not.
I didn't have a word
Yeah.
better than politics for it.
I
Like
know.
any local issues, I don't give a shit.
Don't worry, Tuesday, your offense was forgotten about.
Yeah.
Following Friendly.
Hey, that's the secret, folks. Always carry around a bigger douchebag.
I'm just gonna be over here peeing in the corner. Kick me out. So
Then I
okay.
say anything else you think we need to know before we head to this house, because that's exactly where we're going.
I have not paid close attention to the way that the curse is spoken of. It is perhaps better that you ask. Did you interrupt him with what?
Baba.
Who?
Okay.
Oh, the merchant?
Sorry, I had that in my notes.
Oh, okay, no.
As knowledgeable person in the area.
Yeah.
I have one more thing before we leave, but I don't want to interrupt.
But who to ask after he corrects?
We'll get there. He briefly is confused by the no, Nanny Tender. Part of how she knew this has happened is because she has become well versed in the things that people say, and I don't know how much of it is true, but she is right that the kids are missing and that they are most likely have been are in that house. Her and yes.
No, go ahead.
Well, he was about to dismiss you, so.
What is something we can tell your children so that they know we work for you, so that they know to come with us?
Come on. Of all the
Yeah.
times for me, right? I'm sorry. I'm like, good idea. What little family cute things? Ask them what mares eat.
What mares eat? Okay.
Assuming some sort of possession, could you just tell us the right answer?
Oh, of course. It's a children's rhyme.
Mares eat oats and does eat oats?
A little lambsy divey. Because that's the
Excellent.
only one Diamond could think of right now. I wish I'd had something prepped for that was thematic, but it's going to be mares eat oats and does eat oats. We're going to pretend that that's not a worldwide thing here.
Right.
Well, but it's funny because he's the mayor, so mayors eat oats.
Hey, that was
Cute.
intentional.
That's why it's the cutesy family thing.
Thank you. Awesome. Thanks. What do mayors eat? And then they should sing the song as the correct response.
Excellent. Anything else will be an indication of.
If we have anything that you need, it's available to you. I think that Nanny Tender is going to be the best guide for you. I am going to do different preparations. Nanny and Leah are in the kitchen. You should go speak with them there.
On our way. Thank you.
and does the like turns, equivalent of turns back to the window with the whiskey glass, even though he's not holding a whiskey glass. It's the theme. Maybe he should have cigars. No, I don't want smoking in here. All right.
And
So,
and on the way out, last out the door from Ubi, if there was any sort of surety deposit you would like to give, send a prayer to the code, source of all things. We'll be sure to get them. Let me just close the door behind him.
he doesn't turn around, but there's no way he didn't hear you. So, this is where we are going to pause for the night, and you all can figure out what you would like to ask Leia and Nanny Tender for our next session. But thank you all for being here. Thank you all for watching. If you're enjoying this and you want to see what's happening at the house on top of the hill, hit subscribe so you know when the next video gets posted. If you enjoy our storytelling, give us a like. Let us know what you liked in the comments. And, there's some links in the doobly-doo. Isn't that the official term, doobly-doo?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm Diamond. This is David, Jocelyn, Allison, and Thomas. Until we see you again, have a good game.